Son, daughter, listen to my voice at this moment. I am the Lord your God, and today I come to you to ease the weight you have carried. I know every detail of your heart, the sleepless nights, the worries that seem to consume you, and the questions that echo in your mind. Why, Lord? When will this change? I want you to know that none of these questions go unnoticed by me. I see it all. I know it all. And I'm here to tell you that you were not created to carry these burdens alone. Trust in me because I am your refuge, your rest. Give me your anxieties, your fears, your questions. My word tells you, commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do everything. Psalm 37:5. That's what I want you to do today. I want you to take a deep breath now and in a leap of faith, trust me. I know it seems difficult, but remember, while you're worrying, I'm working. While your thoughts try to find a solution, my hand is already moving the pieces of the puzzle of your life. You don't need to understand every detail of what I do. Just trust, because I am the God who takes care of you. If these words are touching your heart, I ask you with affection, leave a like on this video as an act of faith and trust. This gesture, although simple, is a way of declaring, I trust in you, Lord. It's not just a button you click, it's an expression of your surrender. Son, daughter, I know you have faced struggles. You've been carrying burdens that no one sees. Maybe you even smile to hide the pain you carry inside. But I want you to know that I am the one who probes and knows the most intimate part of your heart. I know the battles you face, the dreams that seemed impossible, and the hopes that were almost extinguished. Today, I speak to your spirit. You are not alone. You never have been. I am with you every step of the way, holding your hand, supporting you when you thought you could no longer continue. I want you to imagine a boat in the middle of a storm. Maybe you feel like this right now, surrounded by strong winds, not knowing where to paddle, fearing being carried away by the waves. But son, daughter, just as I was with my disciples in the boat saying, "Be still, wind, be still, sea," Mark 4:39. Today I also say to your heart, be still. Trust me, because I am the one who has power over the storms. I'm in control, even when everything seems to fall apart. There is something important that I need you to understand. Your strength is not in what you have or what you do, but in who I am in your life. When you feel weak, remember that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. When you think there is no way out, remember that I am the one who opens paths where there are none. I am your source of peace, your source of rest, and I want you to trust me today. Not because you see the solution, but because you know who I am. Son, daughter, I want you to put aside for a moment all the worries, all the lists of problems that you have been trying to solve on your own. I want you to focus on me now. Look at me, not at the circumstances. I am your Father, the Creator of heaven and earth. I support you, I guide you, and I have plans for peace and not evil for your life. Jeremiah 29:11. What I am preparing for you is greater than you can imagine, but I need you to trust. My provision does not come in obvious ways. It comes at the right time, in the perfect way. Son, daughter, hold these words in your heart. I love you with a love that knows no limits. I'm not distant. I'm not indifferent. I'm here, now, talking to you. I want you to remember this when fear tries to creep in, when doubts whisper in your ear. Remember, I am your God, and I never fail. Son, daughter, I want you to listen carefully, because what I am going to tell you now will change the way you see your life and the challenges you face. I know that you often look around and see scarcity. Perhaps the support you expected has not yet arrived. The doors seem to remain closed, and anxiety is trying to occupy the space that should be peace. But today I come to remind you of an eternal truth. I am the God who provides. Since ancient days, I have shown my people that there is no limit to what I can do. When the Israelites were in the desert, without water, without food, and without any human prospect of survival, it was I who sent manna from heaven to sustain them. Then the Lord said to Moses, I will rain bread from heaven for you. Exodus 16:4. I am the same God who took care of them. And today I say to you, I will also take care of you. I want you to stop looking at the limited resources around you and start trusting in my unlimited ability to provide. The provision I have for you is not limited to what you see or what you can do on your own. I am the God who multiplies little, who transforms the improbable into miracles. Just as I took 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish in the hands of a boy, and turned them into food for thousands. Matthew 14:19-20. I can take what you have today, no matter how small it may seem, and make it overflow. But I need you to trust me, to hand over what you have into my hands. Son, daughter, I know that sometimes you feel trapped, as if there is no way out. Perhaps you are like Elijah, who, tired and without strength, found himself under a juniper tree in the desert, thinking that his end had come. But it was there, in that place of apparent helplessness, that I sent an angel to feed him and strengthen him to continue his journey. 1 Kings 19:4-8. Today I'm telling you, your journey is not over yet. I am your support, and I am preparing something greater than you can imagine. I need you to understand something essential. My supply does not always arrive the way you expect. I often work in ways that surpass your understanding. Just as I sent ravens to feed Elijah at the brook Cherith, 1 Kings 17:4-6, so I can use the most unlikely means to meet your needs. Don't worry about the how. Just trust me, because I am faithful to keep every promise I made to you. Son, daughter, the scarcity you see today does not define your future. No matter the size of the financial difficulty you face, I am greater. I am the owner of all gold and silver. Haggai 2:8. Everything that exists belongs to me, and nothing is beyond my reach. I want you to keep this promise in your heart. My God will supply all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. Not some, not a few, but all your needs. Today I ask you something. Change your perspective. Instead of looking at what's missing, look at me, your source. Instead of despairing over obstacles, remember who I am. I am the God who drew water from the rock to quench the thirst of my people. I am the God who opened the sea so that they could walk on dry land. There is nothing impossible for me. If you trust me, you will see my provision manifest in ways beyond your understanding. But I want you to keep something in your heart. My provision is not just to meet your material needs. It is to teach you to trust me, to strengthen your faith, and to let you know that I am your loving Father, always taking care of you. Not only do I take care of what you need today, but I prepare a future where my kindness overflows into your life. Son, daughter, I want you to do something today. Take a moment to be grateful, not just for what you already have, but for what I am about to accomplish. Gratitude opens doors because it is an act of faith. When you thank me before seeing the miracle, you are declaring that you trust me. So before finishing this part, say in your heart, "Thank you, Lord, because I know you are taking care of me." Trust, rest in my promise, and keep these words in your heart. My supply is on the way, and when it arrives, you will remember that I was the one who took care of you. Son, daughter, I know you are facing moments when doubt tries to invade your heart. The difficulties that surround you seem too big, like mountains that cannot be moved. But today I want to remind you of something that you have already planted in your heart. Faith is your strength, your shield, and the key to opening doors that seemed locked forever. Faith, my son, my daughter, is not just believing that everything will work out. Faith is trusting myself, even when everything seems to fall apart. It's keeping your eyes fixed on who I am, not on the circumstances that surround you. Remember Peter, who walked on water. As long as he kept his eyes on me, he walked safely. But as he looked at the waves, he began to sink. Matthew 14:28-30. That's what I want to tell you today. Look at me. Don't let the storms around you divert your focus. I am with you, and my hand is extended to lift you up, even when it seems like there is no more strength. I know you've been struggling. I see your efforts, your attempts to do your best, and you often feel that everything you do is not enough. But I want to remind you that you are not called to fight alone. My word says, if God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. When you trust in me, you fight not with your own strength, but with mine. I am the one who goes ahead of you, paving the way, breaking down barriers and making the impossible possible. You may wonder, why am I facing so many battles? I want you to know that every challenge has a purpose. The difficulties you face are not punishments, but opportunities for your faith to grow and for my glory to be revealed in your life. Just as I use the desert to shape the hearts of my people, I am using these situations to strengthen you. Fear not, for nothing you face is beyond my control. I am the one who turns your weakness into strength and your pain into victory. I want to tell you about David, a young man who faced a giant with nothing more than a sling and 5 stones. David did not trust in his own strength, but in me. He declared, The Lord has delivered me from the claws of the lion and from the claws of the bear. He will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. 1 Samuel 17:37. And so it was. Today, I want you to have the same confidence. The giant you are facing may seem impossible to defeat, but I am the God who empowers you. My strength is greater than any obstacle, and my presence is your shield. Son, daughter, listen to this carefully. Your faith does not need to be great. My word says that if your faith is like a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to move, and it will move. Matthew 17:20. It's not about the size of your faith, but where you place it. When you trust me, even the smallest seed of faith can produce gigantic fruits. So, even if you feel weak or discouraged, remember that your faith, however small, is enough to move heaven and earth. I want you to do something today. Give me your worries. Say in prayer, Lord, I know I can't solve this alone, but I trust in you. Take my life in your hands and guide my steps. When you give your battle to me, you stop fighting alone and allow my strength to come into action. There is something else I want you to understand. Faith does not immediately remove difficulties, but it gives you strength to go through them. Just as I strengthened Joshua and told him, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Today I say the same to you. You are not alone. I walk beside you. I support your steps, and I strengthen your heart. Son, daughter, remember that the storms pass, but my word remains forever. I want you to trust me even when you don't see the way. My presence is your guarantee that you will never be helpless. And when you look back, you will see that each battle you faced was a step towards taking you closer to the purpose I have for you. Believe, for I am with you, and my strength is sufficient to sustain you. Son, daughter, listen to me carefully, because what I have to tell you today carries a secret that many have not yet understood. My provision in your life is deeply connected to your obedience, not as an exchange or bargain, but as a reflection of your trust in me and your desire to walk in my paths. When you follow my word and keep my teachings, you open the windows of heaven so that I can shower immeasurable blessings on you. From the beginning, I have always wanted my children to walk in obedience, not out of fear or obligation, but out of love and trust. Just as he said to Joshua, meditate on it, the law of the Lord, day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything that is written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Joshua 1:8. I also say to you, my word is the map that guides you to a place of provision and safety. When you decide to walk according to my will, you allow me to operate in your life in a powerful way. I know that obedience often seems difficult. I know you have your own plans, your own ideas of how things should happen. But son, daughter, I want you to trust me. My vision is bigger than yours. My ways are higher than your ways. Isaiah 55:9. When I ask you to follow my direction, it is not to restrict you, but to protect you and take you to a place of abundance you never imagined. Remember Abraham, who was called to leave his land and go to a place that I would show him. He didn't know what awaited him, but he obeyed. And because of his obedience, I made him the father of many nations and blessed him greatly. Genesis 12:1-3. Just like I did with Abraham, I also want to do it with you. But I need you to trust me and take the first step, even if you don't understand everything right now. Son, daughter, when you follow my word, your obedience becomes a seed. And every seed you plant in my direction produces an abundant harvest at the right time. I know that sometimes it seems like nothing is happening, that your obedience is not generating visible fruit. But I tell you, keep planting, keep trusting. Just as the farmer patiently waits for harvest time, I also ask that you trust my time. I'm working, even when you don't realize it. My word also teaches that obedience brings protection. When I decided to free the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, I asked them to mark the doors of their homes with the blood of the Lamb. Those who obeyed saw my hand protect their families and deliver them from evil. Exodus 12:7-13. Today, I want you to understand that my instruction is not to limit you, but to keep you. When you hear my voice and follow my path, you are under my protection. Son, daughter, I want you to trust me enough to obey, even when you don't fully understand. Just as I asked Peter to let down his nets again, even after a whole night without catching anything. Luke 5:4-6. He could have doubted, but he chose to obey, and the result was a catch so abundant that the nets almost broke. So it will be with you too. There is a provision that I am ready to pour into your life, but I need you to follow my guidance. I want you to reflect today. Is there something I asked of you that you've been hesitant to do? Is there something you know is right but seems too difficult? I want you to trust me. Take the first step. Open your heart to hear my voice and follow my direction. I am with you in every decision, in every action. My grace sustains you, and my strength enables you to fulfill everything I ask of you. When you choose to obey, you are declaring that you trust me more than the circumstances around you, and that moves heaven and earth in your favor. Son, daughter, remember, it is not through your strength that you will achieve what I desire for you, but through my hand that operates powerfully in your life. Just trust and obey. The provision I have for you is great, but I want you to know that the greatest gift you can receive is my presence. Walk with me, listen to my voice and follow my path. I am with you, and I will never abandon you. Son, daughter, listen to me with an open heart, because today I want to reveal to you something that often seems incomprehensible: the purpose behind waiting times. I know you have been crying out, waiting for answers and wondering why you still don't see the fulfillment of the promises I placed in your heart. But I want you to know that silence never means absence. While you wait, I'm working on something much bigger than you can imagine. From the beginning, my plans were always perfect. However, my times do not follow the human clock. Every moment of your life is a piece in a larger puzzle, and I am the God who aligns everything with precision. My word says, there is a season for everything, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. This means that nothing is accidental. Every second of waiting has a reason, a lesson, and an eternal result. I want you to think about the seed that is planted in the ground. It does not sprout at the same moment, nor does it grow overnight. First, she needs to be hidden in the dark in an environment that feels lonely, but it is in this hidden place that transformation occurs. That's how it is with you too. There are times when you seem to be buried, with no signs of changing, but that is when I am strengthening your roots, preparing you for the growth that is to come. Son, daughter, remember Abraham and Sarah. I promised them a child, but years passed without seeing that promise fulfilled. Still, I continued working, shaping their faith, until the very moment Isaac was born, bringing joy and fulfillment. Genesis 21:1-2. So it will be with you too. What I promised you was not forgotten. I am faithful, and my word never returns void. I am preparing the ground for my promise to be fulfilled at the perfect time. I want you to understand something essential. Waiting time is a time of learning. That's when I teach you to trust me, even when you don't see the signs. That's when I shape your character, strengthen your patience, and prepare you to receive what I have for you. What I am doing in your life is not just for this moment, but for something eternal. I want your trust in me to be unshakable, for your faith to grow like the deep roots of a tree that resists storms. I know that sometimes you feel tired, discouraged, and even question, why, Lord? Is something wrong with me? I want you to know that nothing is wrong. I'm not punishing you, nor ignoring you. I'm preparing you for something much bigger than you can imagine. My word says, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. This means that even moments of silence are part of the perfect plan I have for you. Son, daughter, remember that waiting time is not wasted time. Just as Joseph, who was sold into slavery and then unjustly imprisoned, seemed to be forgotten but was actually being prepared to rule Egypt. Genesis 41:40. The same happens with you. What seems like a delay is, in fact, the alignment of my plans for your life. I want you to use this time to get closer to me. Seek me in prayer. Give me your doubts, your anxieties, and trust that I am with you at every step. My word says, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Don't despair, don't rush. Trust my time and my care. Son, daughter, I want you to know that I'm working behind the scenes. You may not see it now, but I am moving pieces, preparing hearts, opening paths, and aligning circumstances. At the right time, everything will be revealed, and you will understand that every second of waiting was necessary for the perfect plan I have for you. While you wait, strengthen your faith. Declare with confidence that you believe in me, even when the results have not yet appeared. Just as the farmer trusts that the seed planted will bear fruit, trust that what I am doing in your life will flourish at the right time. I am the Lord your God, and my faithfulness never fails. Son, daughter, listen to me now, because what I will reveal to you will be like light in the midst of the darkness you have faced. I know you often look around you and think, that's impossible. There is no way out. There's no way things are going to change. But today I want to remind you of who I am. I am the God who makes the impossible possible, the Lord who creates paths where none exist, who transforms seemingly lost situations into glorious victories. Since the beginning of time, I have demonstrated my power over all things. When the Red Sea seemed an insurmountable barrier for my people, I opened the way for them to cross on dry land. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord turned away the sea all night long. Exodus 14:21. Just like I did that day, today I can do the same in your life. What seems like an insurmountable wall is just an opportunity for my glory to be manifested. I want you to know that there are no limits to what I can do. What seems impossible to man is possible to me. Luke 18:27. I want you to remember when I told Sarah that she would be a mother in her old age. She laughed because she thought it was impossible. But I said to him, "Is anything impossible with the Lord?" Genesis 18:14. And, when the time was right, I kept my promise. So it will be with you too. What I promised you will happen, because my word is faithful and true. Son, daughter, listen to this carefully. The impossible is the stage where I perform the greatest miracles. It is at the moment when all human alternatives seem exhausted that my hand acts with most power. Maybe you are looking at your situation and thinking that there are no resources, that there is no strength, that there is no way out. But today I tell you, trust me. You don't need to understand how or when I will do it. Just believe that I will do it. Remember the day Jesus fed a crowd of more than 5,000 people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. The disciples couldn't understand how that would be enough, but when they put the little they had into my hands, I turned it into abundance. Matthew 14:19-20. I want you to do the same today. Give me what you have, even if it seems little, even if it seems insufficient. Trust me to multiply and transform what is small into something extraordinary. Son, daughter, I know that there are times when you feel that your faith is too small to face what you have in front of you. I want you to know that it is not the size of your faith that determines the miracle, but to whom your faith is directed. My word says that if your faith is like a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Matthew 17:20. This means that even when your strength seems small, I am capable of achieving great things through you. I want you to know that while you are worried about what is missing, I am creating resources that you never even imagined. Just as I sent ravens to feed Elijah in the wilderness, I can use the most unexpected means to meet your needs. 1 Kings 17:6. Don't worry about the how. Just trust that I'm working, even when you can't see. Son, daughter, I want you to remember that you don't need to carry the weight of the impossible alone. I am the one who moves mountains. I am the one who turns the desert into a garden. I am the one who makes rivers flow in dry lands. Isaiah 43:19. My strength is infinite, my power is limitless, and my faithfulness is eternal. What I ask of you is that you believe, that you hand over to me what is beyond your reach, and trust that I will do my best. I want you to declare today with faith, nothing is impossible with God. Say these words in prayer and keep them in your heart. When you feel that circumstances are against you, remember this truth. I am the God who makes the impossible possible, and I am working in your life right now. Son, daughter, what I am preparing for you is greater than you can imagine. Don't let fear or doubt keep you from what I'm doing. Hold fast to my promise and trust that my power is working on your behalf. I am your Father, your provider, your sustainer, and I will never fail you. Son, daughter, today I want to talk to you about 2 powerful keys that open doors to my provision in your life: gratitude and generosity. I know that often circumstances can make you look only at what is missing, at what you don't yet have, but I want to teach you a secret that will transform the way you see life. Gratitude not only changes your heart, but also release my blessing upon you. My word tells you, in everything give thanks, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. This does not mean that you should be grateful for the pain or the difficulties, but rather for the certainty that I am with you in all things. Gratitude is an act of faith. a declaration that you trust me, even when you don't see the miracle happen yet. When you give thanks even before receiving, you are saying, Lord, I trust that you are already working on my behalf. Son, daughter, I want you to remember the 10 lepers I healed as I walked to Jerusalem. They were all healed, but only one came back to give thanks, and to him I said, get up and go. Your faith has saved you. Luke 17:19. That's how it is with you. When you choose gratitude, your faith grows stronger, your vision aligns with what I'm doing, and doors open. Don't allow the habit of complaining to rob you of the opportunity to see what I am already accomplishing in your life. I want you to do something today. Look around you and find reasons to be grateful. As small as they may seem, these blessings are evidence of my care. Maybe it's a roof over your head, the health you have, or the food that reaches your table. Every little detail is a reminder that I never abandon you. Gratitude is like a seed that, planted in your heart, germinates and produces fruits of joy, peace, and provision. But there is another key that I want to teach you: generosity. Son, daughter, everything you have comes from me. I am the owner of all gold and silver, Haggai 2:8, and I entrust you with resources to be a channel of blessing to others. My word says, he who gives generously will be blessed, for he shares his bread with the poor. Proverbs 22:9. When you choose to share what you have, you are activating a cycle of provision that never stops. Remember the widow of Zarephath, who, even in the midst of scarcity, chose to share the little she had with the prophet Elijah. She could have kept it for herself, but by obeying and being generous, she saw the miracle happen. The jar of flour did not run out, and the cruse of oil did not run dry, according to the word of the Lord. 1 Kings 17:16. So it will be with you. When you open your hand to bless others, you make room for me to multiply what you have and pour even more blessings upon you. Son, daughter, I want you to understand that generosity is not just about giving material things. It's about having a heart willing to help, to care, to share what you have, be it time, attention, or resources. When you share, you are reflecting my character. I am the God who gives without measure, and I want your acts of generosity to be a light to those around you. I know that sometimes fear can try to stop you from being generous. The insecurity of not having enough may make you hesitate, but I want you to trust me. My word says, give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be given to you. Luke 6:38. When you choose to give, you are not losing, you are sowing. And everything you sow in my name will yield an abundant harvest at the right time. Today, I ask you to practice both gratitude and generosity. Be grateful for what you already have and trust that what I need to give you will come at the perfect time. And when you bless others, remember that I am watching every act of kindness, every gesture of love. Not only will I meet your needs, but I will make your life overflow so that you also bless many. Son, daughter, gratitude opens your heart to realize what I have already done. Generosity opens doors to receive even more. Trust me, because I am pouring something new into your life. Walk with me, and together we will see the fruit of this seed grow. Son, daughter, I want you to listen carefully to what I have to say to you today, because I know that there are moments when silence seems unbearable. I know you've asked yourself, Lord, why don't I see signs? Why don't I hear your voice? Have you forgotten about me? But today, I come to remind you of something very important. My silence does not mean absence. While you're waiting, I'm working behind the scenes, aligning every detail so that my plan can be fulfilled perfectly in your life. I want you to think about a farmer. He plants the seed, covers it with dirt, and for weeks, maybe months, he sees nothing. There is no visible sign of growth, but underground the seed is transforming, creating deep roots that will support it when it breaks through the earth. That's how it is with you. You may not see what I am doing now, but trust. I am strengthening your spiritual roots so that when the harvest comes, it will be lasting and abundant. My word says, everything has its time, and there is a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Quiet time is often a time of preparation. It's when I work in your heart, shaping you, strengthening your faith, teaching you to trust me, even when you don't see the way. I know it's difficult, but I want you to know that what I'm doing in your life goes far beyond what you can imagine. Son, daughter, remember Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers and later unjustly imprisoned. Years passed without him seeing any sign of change, but what he didn't know was that I was quietly working, preparing him to rule Egypt and save many lives. Genesis 41:40. The same happens with you. What seems like waiting time is actually construction time. I'm preparing you for something much bigger than your eyes can see. I want you to also remember David, who was anointed as king at a young age, but had to wait years before taking the throne. During this time, he faced persecution, challenges, and even moments of doubt, but never abandoned him. I was shaping his character, teaching him valuable lessons, strengthening him so that he could be a leader according to my heart. 1 Samuel 16:13, 2 Samuel 5:4-5. So I am also working on you. Each challenge, every silence, each delay is part of my perfect plan. Son, daughter, I know that silence can be disconcerting. I know your heart yearns for immediate answers, for visible signs that I'm acting, but I want you to trust me. Do not forget that I am the God who sees the beginning and end of all things. While you see only part of the journey, I see the full picture. I am aligning people, preparing circumstances, and moving heavens and earth, so that my promise will be fulfilled in your life. I want you to do something today. Instead of focus on what hasn't happened yet, look back and remember every time I sustained you, from all the doors I opened, all the miracles I have done in your life. My fidelity in the past is the guarantee that I am with you now, even if you do not realize. My word says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear any harm because you are with me. Psalm 23:4. I'm with you, even in silence. I want you to keep it in your heart. My word never comes back empty. Every promise I made will be fulfilled because I am faithful. Even when you feel weak, discouraged, or unable to proceed, remember that I am the one who sustains your steps, who strengthens you, and who carries you in your arms when the weight becomes too big. My word says, those who await the Lord renew their strength. Fly loudly like eagles. Run and do not exhausted. Walk and do not get tired. Isaiah 40:31. I want you to live this truth, that you fully trust me. Son, daughter, what I have for you is greater than you can imagine. The dreams I put in your heart are not the result of chance. Each of them was planted by me, and I'm working to flourish at the right time. My word says, it is me who knows the plans I have for you. Plans to make them prosper and not to cause harm. Plans to give them hope and a future, under Jeremiah 29:11. Trust my plans, as they are perfect and full of love. Today, I want you to give a step of faith. No matter the size of your fear or doubt, it gives me control of situations that have heavy on you. Put your confidence in me and see what I will do. I am the God who opens ways in the desert and makes rivers flow into dry lands. Isaiah 43:19. What seems impossible for you is simple to me. Just trust. I also want to remind you of the importance of sharing what you have received. The words that have come to your heart today are a gift, but they should not stop in you. Just as light illuminates everything around, I wish you share my message with others so that more lives are transformed. As I said, you are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. I wish your testimony to be a reflection of my love, bringing hope to those who need it. Son, daughter, I want you to continue walking with me. Do not let the difficulties move you away from me, because I will never leave you. My presence is your strength, my love is your livelihood, and my word is your guide. There is much more that I want to do in your life, much more than I want to reveal. Seek me in prayer, trust me with all your heart, and I will show you great and wonderful things you do not yet know. Jeremiah 33:3. Now I want to ask you something with love and respect. If these words played your heart, leave a like in this video and subscribe to you on the channel. This simple gesture is not only a sign of faith, but also a way to spread my message to many others who need to hear it. When you subscribe to you are helping to bring light, hope, and love to the lives of people who do not yet know that I am with them. Finally, I invite you to continue to hear my words. There are other messages here, full of promises and hope, waiting for you. Each of them has been prepared to strengthen you, to guide you, and to remind you that I am the Lord, your God, and that I am always with you. I will never leave you. I will never leave you. My love for you is eternal, and my faithfulness lasts forever. Son, daughter, walk with me, trust me, and let me guide your steps. What I have prepared for you is greater than you can imagine. Trust, rest, and wait, because the best is yet to come.